There are stories inside us that were written long before our first heartbreak. Invisible patterns that echo through every relationship, often without us realizing it. Carl Jung called them archetypes, ancient symbolic energies that live deep within the unconscious. In this video, we gently uncover how these hidden archetypes shape the way you love, who you're drawn to, and why you may feel like you're reliving the same emotional script again and again. Whether you find yourself overgiving, chasing emotionally unavailable partners, or questioning your own worth and love, there is a reason, and it's not because you're broken. It's because you're being invited to awaken. This is a soft but soul-deep reflection for self-aware women who are ready to understand their love lives not as mistakes, but as mirrors. We explore the wounded maiden, the inner queen, the shadow lover, and more, all through a poetic lens that blends Jungian insight with emotional intelligence and healing. You'll leave not only with clarity, but with a renewed sense of compassion for yourself and your journey. It's time to stop chasing love and start understanding the story underneath it. The pattern you can't explain. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I always end up here? In love, in longing, in that quiet ache that says, this again. You try to be wiser, softer, stronger. You set boundaries, you read the books, you even walk away when it hurts, but somehow it still repeats. Different faces, same feeling. This is not weakness. This is a call from a deeper part of you, a part that wants to be seen. Beneath every heartbreak, beneath every almost love, there's an archetype, a symbolic energy, not just personal, but universal. And these archetypes, they shape your love life before you even know you're in it. Archetypes, the soul's secret language. Carl Jung believed that we each carry ancient patterns within us. Archetypes that guide our behavior, our desires, and even our pain. They're not flaws. They're stories our soul has inherited, and sometimes forgotten how to rewrite. Think of them like inner characters. They show up when you fall in love, when you feel abandoned, when you're afraid to speak your truth. You might recognize them. You've met them in you. But now, it's time to name them. The wounded maiden, longing to be chosen. She is soft. She is hopeful. She believes that love will save her if she can just be enough. She waits. She pleases. She overgives. Because somewhere deep inside, she learned that love is something you earn. That being wanted is the highest form of worth. The wounded maiden lives in many women. She shows up when you chase affection, when you accept less than you deserve, when you believe you need to fix yourself to be loved fully. But here's her truth. She doesn't need saving. She needs remembering. Remembering that love is not something to beg for. It's something to receive fully, freely, just as you are. The inner queen, the sacred feminine awakens. The queen doesn't chase. She doesn't beg. She doesn't try to become small to be more lovable. She knows her value, even when others forget it. She has walked through disappointment. She has grieved illusions. And now, she chooses truth. The queen archetype is not about ego. It's about sovereignty. She listens when something feels off. She walks away when her heart isn't honored. And she protects her peace as if it were sacred, because it is. You awaken your inner queen, not when you're loud, but when you're clear. Clear on what you deserve. Clear on who you are. Clear on the fact that you no longer have to prove yourself to be loved. The shadow lover, attraction, or projection. We all have shadows, parts of us we've hidden, rejected, or feared. And sometimes, we fall for someone not because of who they are, but because of what they represent. That's the shadow lover. The one who pulls you in deep, fast, intoxicating. But there's a reason it feels so intense. You're not just seeing them. You're seeing a reflection of your inner world. Your wounds, your desires, your unmet needs. This kind of love feels like a fire. It burns bright, but it doesn't always last. To move past the shadow lover, you must reclaim your projections. Take back your power. See the difference between chemistry and compatibility. Because when you do, you stop falling in love with potential and start loving with presence. The inner child, the first love story before anyone else. There was you as a little girl, and she watched. She learned, she listened to how love was given, to how attention was earned, to what was safe and what wasn't. That little girl still lives in you. And sometimes, she's the one choosing your partners. When you feel triggered, when you fear, abandonment, when you go silent instead of speaking up. That's her. She doesn't need to be silenced. She needs to be held, because once you start loving the little girl inside you, you stop chasing people who echo the wounds of your past. When the archetypes work together, these archetypes, the maiden, the queen, the shadow lover, the inner child, they are not enemies. They are parts of your inner landscape. You don't need to reject them. You need to integrate them. Let the queen guide your boundaries. Let the maiden soften your heart. Let the lover remind you of your passion. And let the inner child teach you tenderness. When they work together, you stop loving from fear. You start loving from truth. You stop repeating patterns. And you start creating from choice. Your love life is a mirror, not a mistake. You are not broken. You are becoming every love, every loss, every almost, every lesson they have been shaping. You are not into someone else, but back into yourself. The archetypes are not just theories, they are invitations to look inward, to listen deeply, to love consciously, and most of all, to come home to you, because the most powerful love story you'll ever live is the one where you finally choose yourself.